My name is Tanya Finchum, along with Alex Bishop. We're with Oklahoma State University, and today we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma to speak with Australia Hopson. And this is part of our Oklahoma 100-Year Life project, so thank you for having us today. Let's start with having you tell us when and where you were born.
Well, I was born as part one person and part another person, like black, white, and Indian. I'm all three of those.
Okay.
And I'm not ashamed of either one. It's something that couldn't be helped. It's God's will and it must be done. But I liked my grandma, who was Indian. Mother and father, we lived on the farm. Mother and father would get up and go to the farm. Grandma would stay home and cook me this good old white gravy and biscuits, and I loved to stay home with her. I was the baby of the family. It was just three of us that lived. One, my older sister, 10 years older than me, and my other sister, 3 years older than me. So I was in between, kind of spoiled. But they were nice to me. And I had some good days and I had some bad days. And if I couldn't do nothing, I'd get me old sticky horse and get up, I'm going. I'd have as much fun with that stick as you would on a pony, real pony. But finally we got us a pony. Got a pony, they let me ride it and let me hook up the harness up the other mule and horses to do the work. But
well, when were you born?
Where?
When?
I was born June the 16th, 1914.
And where?
Oh, and I loved my tapes, like, inside, no house, but just like a tent or something that you were born in. We didn't have grandma style.
Where was this?
Muskogee in the country, out in the rural. And so finally my daddy was a religious person, and God sometimes answered prayer. We got us a house and we started living like normal people. We were living like normal people, but not in a house that you could sweep. We had to sweep the yard. You couldn't sweep the floor. If you didn't know who came to visit you, they just sweep it over. Nobody will never know if you don't want to tell them.
And so your parents were farmers?
Oh, yeah.
Or your grandparents were farmers?
My parents, we were born, my daddy was born in slavery. He was never slavery. His mother, you had to do what they say. You had children by then. But my uncle came one day through this college, and there's a pretty Indian girl there. He snatched up on his horse and ran away with it. That's why he had all his children. I think I'm the worst looking one now. And so that's the way we live. Brought her here in 1907. We came to statehood, but she couldn't tell that she was kidnapped. They told her they'd kill her. They wasn't gonna kill her, but they just scared her. She never did tell us how she got to be our granny. She couldn't call her grandmother. We have to say nanny, nanny. She would couldn't never tell nobody those was her grandchildren. And one day, my father and his brother-in-law, his wife, they saw each other in town, and she say, "I'm gonna come to visit you tomorrow. Can I visit?" "Sure, come on over." And he come. Behold, there the man that he was invited to see was his sister. He didn't know they had gotten apart, And after they found each other, they started claiming each other. And that's how we started our immediate, family life. So my mother and father, they lived until my mother passed away in 30. And my daddy passed away at about 32. And then I was raised by my older sister. They were just 10 years older than me. But I did good. I was in school. I was fifth or sixth grade. In Muskogee, Papa hooked up the horse's wagon. We didn't have no buggy. And went to this high school at Saturday. And believe it or not, I won the contest, a big old piece of silver, the one that nobody at my school had ever won.
What was it for?
Speaking. And they said, "Don't be afraid. If you want to get and say something, look the person kind of in the eye and then kind of drop down. And you forget they're there. And you just be talking. You don't know who it is. It might be Mary, John, or anybody. But I won this prize." Then I come to Tulsa, Oklahoma. My parents didn't brought me. And I was good in sport. You hardly go to a new school and be the best in there. Believe it or not, I had about 3 more, half a month. And I took the lead in mostly everything. And believe it or not, my grandchildren are doing the same thing. Like I had Tyler playing sports, Lockett. And boy, he just teaching himself. He's just getting out, just running and running. They say, "Who's teaching him?" I say, "He's teaching himself. He believes in himself. He probably wouldn't be as good as he is until he got out there and tried and don't think the world owes him something." So,
What sports did you do?
The baseball. At my school, Carver Junior High, I was the best girl player there, and they never found me no time that I was at the bat. And they were all proud of it, and I tried to carry myself that they didn't owe me nothing, and I appreciated them being friends to me.
Sure.
So, that was it.
Carver? Did you say Carver?
Carver Junior High School. That's my favorite school in this city.
What year did you move to Tulsa again?
29.
29.
You celebrated that old year to the new year, get firecrackers. I was disappointed because Tulsa, they didn't shoot them firecrackers, we at home, but now we have a show out of it, on the 4th of July.
We did.
So,
And your parents had come from what state?
well, I can't remember really where they came from, but they didn't know each other until they
Got here.
Oklahoma. Yes.
Your father was from Arkansas.
Oh, he was in Arkansas. Oh, yeah, he was the Arkansas.
Okay.
And my mother, I don't know, I can't remember where she was. But they met after they came to
Oklahoma.
Yeah, we go down there, and they in Arkansas, and they were going to make us see where my daddy and my grandmother lived. One day I came home from school in the rural, and there were some people at our house. I said, Mama, who is that? Shut up, gal, that's your grandpa. He was Caucasian, my grandma, and he had his two daughters with him, and daughter lived with her. And we had another uncle. So that's how we met them. They had the horse and buggy, and then about that time, we didn't have no car then. I think we got those old Fords later, but I could when I was in the 6th grade, and I could saddle up a horse or hook up a wagon as good as my dad could. He said, "Don't do that." He'd go somewhere and I'd slip and hook up his horses in the team. We didn't have a brother, and they wished for one, so I did the right kind of a brother.
Well, did you have to help them farm?
Well, when I left from there, about 1 year, I was old enough to do it. And my auntie, my mother's sister, she was the baby of the family. She was a Moses, and she was jealous because Mama was born and made another family, and she wasn't a baby anymore. So she took her grandma, our grandma, home with her to live, and we didn't get to see her. So I was unhappy because she was just like my grandma, because I had her taking care of me for all the years. All the years. And I thought I never liked her anymore. Yeah, she took my nanny.
Well, did you have some chores that you had to do as a youngster?
Well, I didn't have to do them, but I was a child. I was eager to do it because, see, my middle sister, I would just cry, when my mother adopted her. And so she was good to me. She loved me. And there was the one in the middle. And she would cook and do all. They didn't make her do it now. She would they'd tell me to go do it. I'd start crying. Ooh, wait a minute. Come on. And she'd do my work. Wouldn't have to wash dishes. Just reading, I don't know nothing now. See? Nothing.
Well, how did you get your name, Australia?
Well, my mother and a friend, the teacher, somebody had to go to school and get her on a horse and buggy every day. We'd bring her and then carry her home. So she didn't. She was ill that day, and my mother volunteered to help the assistant teacher teach. And they were looking in their geography book, and they thought it was exciting. They first said Asia. No, let's say Australia. And that's what their name is, Australia.
It's pretty.
Oh, well, thank you. Everybody tell me that, and I felt real funny at first, named after a state or country or so. And I had to take it, but I enjoyed it after I got it.
Well, when did you get married?
And when I was 18, my dad, they didn't want me to get married. So I sneaked off with, one night, we were going out, we say, and went over to his house, had the preacher there and everything, and got married. And then then you couldn't go to school if you were married. And then I had to finish my school, later on. But I did finish 12th grade and part-time college, when it was downtown, I don't know whether, no, you weren't here. So, but then I did, after I got married, I took cosmetology, and I did pass state board in that until I started having trouble with my hands and limbs. But we made a good living.
You had a beauty shop?
Yeah, I was a beautician.
Wow.
Yeah.
Styles have changed a little bit?
Oh yeah, very much so. Yes. Yes, and I couldn't, do them. Then after then, I took nursing, and I liked that because I like people. And now when people are sick, I tried to help them, and I did. Most of my patients liked me. So I had two things that I could do, but when you're doing cosmetology, sometimes you have, most of the time, hard eyes and things, and my husband said, no, you'd be sued. I'm not going, you can't do that, because I have arthritis in my hand.
Well, what did your beauty shop or have a name?
Tiny.
Time.
I wouldn't go in Australia. That's too long to say. It's tiny. And I did that until, a long time ago. And then
And where was the shop?
down on Deep Greenwood where all the people were. I enjoyed down there and they enjoyed me.
Would you have had it during the Depression?
Oh yeah,
Was
that was our living. Cause see, you know what cotton did? No, you don't. You're not old enough.
No, tell us. You can tell
Oh,
us.
then the boll weavers came in there and all the cotton. We had to do what we could do to make a living out of it. Mama would grow a garden and take them to town, get rid of them. So we lived like that. But the worst thing, my auntie took my nanny away from me.
Well, when you did the nursing, was it at a hospital?
Oh
or?
yeah, I retired from St. Francis. 14 or 15 years I worked there. Then bone flora.
Bones?
I can't. Sometimes I forget. But we work with, what is it?
Orthopedics.
Orthopedic, that got it. So we did that. All back surgeries and different things. They wanted me to do people that came in, and I didn't want to do that. Emergency room. But I'd rather do orthopedic, and I did.
The emergency rooms are pretty tough.
Huh?
Emergency rooms are pretty tough.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I could handle it. I did on a small hospital, Muskogee, in the rural. But it was just. I'd rather have a certain flow, because I didn't know what was coming in. And I didn't want to do people and have do them. And if I couldn't do it, I didn't want to try. Life's nothing to play with. You should know what you're doing.
Get your hit. So you moved from Muskogee to Tulsa in the
Yeah.
1929? That was after all the race riots and stuff,
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
it?
we would get a letter every other day letting us know. I had first cousin lived there, what was going on, and most of the people that were. But the minister that married my husband and me, he was in race riot. W.G. Skelly boarded him and his family in house. They weren't bothered, because if your family take care of you, well, and then after I went to St. Francis and I retired, I said, well, I'm too young to sit down. I'm going to do something else. And I did this orthopedic, not orthopedic, she was a psychiatrist, and her husband was a lawyer. So for 9 years after I retired, and last about, this year, the baby girl got married, and I had Australia to come. They told her, Mary, you got company. Who is it? She hadn't seen Australia. And she looked up and she saw me and she just busted out crying. She said, this is the happiest day of my life. And she had finished college now. And then her Australia came to see her get married. I had some pretty good days.
It sounds like you've worked a lot too, though.
I do. It's better. See, my mother-in-law, she lived with her. And this parish changed, and she took care of the children. That's sweet. I didn't leave my children unattended. And she didn't, and she took care of my family. And when she took care of my family, well, we could live as well as we did, because, they couldn't. Older people, they couldn't do nothing. She could take care of the children. And do you know she wouldn't let nobody else have them? I mean, we all lived together, No, you don't need my have them. She loved to fish, but she gave up part-time her fishing to take care of her grandchildren.
How many children did you have?
Oh, I had 10 children. But they all didn't live, because my mother was a diabetic. And sometimes when you are pregnant, you lose out, you don't carry a child both. So she did carry some. And that's what we did.
And you had 10?
10.
Yourself?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. And then go right on back. She'd take care of the children. I'm tired of you having these young ones, she said. And so she went on and had the kid. Where is my little girl that look like my baby? Is she up here? Amanda. Yeah, she would take care of those kids. And I was proud. But I couldn't tell them what to do, but we did agree on the right thing, about making them act.
Well, how did you meet your husband?
At a grocery store. When we came, we lived on Latimer Place, and went right around the corner there. And that's where believe it or not, he was a butcher there. And my husband was 7 years older than me. He wouldn't let me go with none of the younger boy. One day, a boy in my class came home with me and he carried my book. My daddy said, what are you doing with those books? Are those our books? Yeah, well, give them to her and let her carry them herself. You're not supposed to. Is that what you go to school for, to learn to pack on ladies' book? And I was so embarrassed, but the boy never came back. He might have been a good chance. No. My daddy was a very religious man.
Went to church every Sunday?
Oh, Lord, yeah. And he belonged to the Methodist Church. Okay. And they are like the head man there is like the deacon in the Baptist Church. And that's the way we were. and we had a good time. All the community. Yes.
What were some of the things you would do for fun?
Where in the country?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'd get me these old, you know how you put the whole, take a stick, put a can on it, each one, and then you Tommy walk. Oh boy, yeah, that's the way I'd get around. Lots of time we'd jump rope, you know. Play he wouldn't let us play domino and cards, but we could play anything else, but anything, dominoes and cards and dice. That wasn't allowed in the house. But checkers, that was our game. We could play checkers. What's the difference? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. We could sit down and play checker. Yeah, but we couldn't play cards or either domino. So we had, ball. We'd play over Annie Hishcom, throw her ball over the house. That's the way. That's the game that we'd play a lot of. We'd always find a game. And the way we would visit with he had 6 brothers and sisters. And the way they would visit one another on Sunday, everybody would cook a basket of food, carry to this person's house, and they'd spread it. And that's where we'd have our dinner on Sunday. Next Sunday is John's time, and we did that and got along quite well.
What kind of food would be in the basket?
Oh boy, now you talking about cooking. Country folks can sure cook. They know how. And they taught me how to do it. And you know where I did work? At Admiral State Bank. I was the one that had the key, went in the house. I went in the bank and then made my order. I went to the store myself and bought it. And I had the food 25 at 11 o'clock. After, that's after I moved to town and I had my children. So we could cook, honest to goodness. I've forgotten how to cook everything. I can't cook nothing.
Not even cornbread?
Oh, and when I worked for the school, the city, I made the best cornbread. Had that old yellow meal, that's what they'd give you. Oh, I could sure cook that cornbread. Yeah.
So in between nursing and the beauty shop, you worked as a cook in the school system?
Oh yeah, I could work some, Then you got to have those babies. When you have those babies, they don't say their job for you. Too many people want it. I got to look for me another job. And I got to be friends and good with everybody so I can be able to get another job. They say, well, what did you do? Get fired? No, I did not. I just went and found another one. And I was lucky. I can't see why people can't find nothing to do. It might not be as much as the other person get, but it's something to keep you eating, your family.
What was your husband doing while you were
He's a
doing
butcher.
Oh, he stayed a butcher?
Yeah, he never did. He was a butcher.
They both used to work 2 and 3 jobs at one time.
Huh?
My father, on Sundays, he went hunting. He killed 40 to 50 rabbits.
What'd she
go
say?
out and we'd have to come back and clean them. When he come back, we'd have
Oh,
to
yeah,
clean them and
killed
sell
them.
them. And this is the way we survived. And plus, she would work the beauty shop and the hospital, worked in Morton in the hospital. And,
They did the rabbits here in Tulsa, or was it when you were in the country?
No, here in Tulsa.
Really?
In Tulsa. He would go out and
See, we were a poor family, but all of the rich, they called us that they were people, they were his customer because he was a good scuffler, we'd say. And they, respected him.
40 rabbits in one day is pretty
40,
good, though.
50, he give us 40, 50. We had to clean them every Sunday. He get back Sunday night. We had to clean them every Sunday night.
Oh my gosh.
We were experts though. We could skin a rabbit and ain't nothing about it.
Do you have to clean those rabbits?
I didn't clean
She
them.
wouldn't do it.
No, now I had them kids. That's what I did not do. No, they did.
That was your line in the sand.
Yeah, Lord.
Well, would you cook them?
Oh yeah. If somebody didn't buy them all before, they'd take them. We had one doctor. He was a good physician. Sometimes he'd take 12 at a time. Rabbits. That's true.
Well, there had to be enough country around here to.
It was.
to have
They'd go
rabbits.
way to Kansas. And, one day he came out there and he said, Tiny, they call me Tiny, Tiny, come out here. And what you see? I say, I don't see nothing. My oldest daughter, the one on this side, she was always a head lady, Ooh, Daddy, we got a car, we got a car. And the thing say, every time it make a move. And he'd drive way to Kansas to come back with a car just packed up full of cars. He'd take 3 or 4 men with him, and they'd kill them. He'd have 24 shells in a box, and he'd bring back 23 rabbits.
Pretty good shot. Then,
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
it?
he was. He was. Really was. But we enjoyed it. We didn't know nothing but to do something to make a living. Mama plant a garden. That's the reason I don't like vegetables too much now, but I eat them because I know they're good for you. We had to eat those vegetables or else go hungry.
She did some canning.
Oh,
She would
Lord, we'd have 100 and some thing my mother would. A can, for the winter time. We'd go across town to some store, and my daddy would, and make a preparation for us to eat there during the winter. And soon as we get something that we could sell to make money, we'd carry and pay him. We always paid him in the springtime. That's how we paid. They had clothes too. And they used to have this flour in these sacks. They make these kids' dresses out of. Mama never would let us wear a flower dress. She'd sell them vegetables and get the money and get the material. And we'd get up. And she'd even make my coats.
Wow.
Yes.
No flour sack dresses.
No
though.
flower sack dresses. No, ma'am. You didn't have to.
So there was a mercantile in Muskogee.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Lord, yes. And we didn't have accounts in that store like we do at these, like you got a big old grocery store. I sell meal, flour, and everything here. In another country, that's the way they made their living. And they got their money. They didn't hardly have nothing to pay for it in the winter time. They'd put it on the book. And then in the spring, when cotton, and that's the reason they say the boll weavers ran us away from the country. Because you got nothing. The boll weavers eat up all the cotton. You wouldn't have none to pick. And I doubt if my children saw any cotton. It's at first white, then red, 3 days in bed, dead. That was the bloom, and then there was a great big flower bowl when you pick that cotton. Never could pick 100 pounds to save my life. Everybody could but me. 100 pounds.
You just weren't quick enough,
Yeah.
or just didn't like it either?
Oh, I just couldn't do it. And sometimes I'd cheat. I'd put all the good things. Don't you better not bring no more cotton in and look like that with all them sticks and things and then, cheating, trying to make out like I could get more. I just couldn't pick 100 pounds. I was a city girl, and they moved me to the city. I did all that good stuff. And my first job after I got to the city, bus fare I think was 5 cents. It wasn't 3 for a quarter. That's how we went to work. And we wouldn't make but $1 a day. Glad to get that job, $1 a day. And now people say, I can't get nothing to do. They don't try. If you if you cook real good and everything, well, probably you'll get more than $1. So, my mother was neat, but I wasn't so neat. I had cheated a little on that stuff because I just couldn't do it. They hadn't taught me to do nothing. My sister would do it for me so I wouldn't have to do it. So if I had to do all that, I'd be the best person in the world. But I wasn't mean to her. I loved her.
Well, could she do 100 pounds?
Oh, Lord, yeah. She could.
She could.
Some of them could be too. Those people could pick 200 pounds. They packed that down in a cotton sack and put a sack of cotton. It was over 50 pounds. I think that's the reason my neck hurt now. I injured the bone. I never pulled that much because I couldn't. And I wasn't cheating either. Just couldn't do it.
Now, you moved to Tulsa in 1929.
That's it. You got it.
That was really the beginning of the Great Depression. What were the Depression days like in Tulsa?
Well, I wasn't living in, after we came here, or not before, it was harder, and we come to that. We would, any place that we could get up, we'd stand on the line, my daddy would, with a bucket, and that bucket was soup. And that's sometimes what we had to eat, and give us beef. I don't like beef right now, because it'd kill a cow. Beef, and then pass that beef out to you. You would take it home and cook it. But when we got to Tulsa, we found little jobs. Not cutting the yard, because we'd cut our own yards. But Lord, when it got so you cut yards, you was making money then. We had a pretty good time. It's hard. And people, I wonder, is times gonna be like they used to be? I hope not. Cause we would, and me at my age, I don't know what 100-year-old person would find to do. Oh, I sure wouldn't. Yes.
Did your husband have to go to war?
He couldn't go because, my husband, he wasn't well enough, but he's well enough to get all them babies, though. No, he didn't have to go to war. I had one son to go. No, he didn't go to war. He went to service, but he never didn't have to go to. No, my husband didn't have to go. We'd have been off better. We would have been there, then he might not live, and it wasn't worth it. You love your country, but if you got to go, Now, all three of my, both of my boys was in college when wartime, and they had to get out of school and sign and go to war. One went, and the other, he just before it was time for him to get signed out, well, they stopped making them people go with the age-wise like that. And that's the only thing that kept him at home.
And what war was that?
That after it was kind of ending, and it wasn't enforcing you to sign.
I see.
If you signed on your own.
Okay.
Yeah,
He wasn't drafted.
that's it. Drafted.
Drafted.
Vietnam?
Uh-uh.
Was it the Vietnam War?
I think
No, they didn't.
Because he was in Langston.
Huh?
He was in school down in Langston. He got
I
drafted.
can't hear her hard.
We're trying to figure out which war. Was it the Vietnam War or
Uh-huh.
what was after that?
Yeah, that's back then. And I remember when they had the Tulsa was under fire, But some of them didn't have any place to keep their workers, and they couldn't keep them. Oh, we had trials and tribulation. I wonder if there's anything else coming. I don't know what.
I'm trying to understand your heritage. You said your parents were both your parents were black, or one was Indian? No, your grandparents.
My daddy, he was a slave.
Your daddy, okay.
Okay, and his mother was a jet-black woman. They had 4 children, 2 girls and 2 boys. My mother, she didn't have, her mother was the one, Indian.
Okay.
And
Your
my
mother's
dad-
mother.
Uh-huh.
Your grandmother.
My grandmother. Uh-huh.
Okay.
And they were terrible. They had a lumber yard. And my daddy was 12 years old. And they made, he had to carry the lumber to the yard. So he had the with horse and buggy and went up there. The man said, "Hey there, boy, you stop." I said, "Okay." "Where are you going?" He was kind of like going forward like me. He said, "I'm going to carry this lumber to the yard." "Who you going to carry it for?" "I'm going to carry it for the man that owned the house. It's his plantation." So he went on, and he said, "Well, there ain't nobody on it but you. How you going to count it up?" "How do people count people up? I'm going to count it up." Mine said, Daddy sat down there and counted up something fun. "Hey, boy, how are you learning to do that stuff?" I just saw other people doing it. He couldn't tell the truth. I just saw other people doing it, and I tried it myself, and I did it. He said, "You lying to me, you boy. I'm going to make you come down off that wagon. I'm going to make you pay for this," lying to him. Papa hit his team. Them people standing down there. "If you don't get out of the way, my team's coming through." And he made it back home to his daddy. And his daddy put him in wagon and brought him to his brother in Oklahoma City. In Oklahoma. And that's how he got to Oklahoma. So the man ran and caught my grandfather. He threw lots of cover over this top so Papa wouldn't be seen. "Hey, where are you going?" "I'm going to the market." "What you going to the market for?" "I'm going to sell these pigs so I can get me some money to feed my family." He says, feed your family. So I don't believe there's no pigs in there. Take that cup off of there and let me see them pigs. He said, okay, Pam popped him with some pop and then went on. And they made it to Oklahoma though. Yeah, but if they hadn't, Shane wouldn't have been no popping now. Yes, sir. I said, times is so changed.
It has.
So changed. One God, one Lord, one baptism. I don't know whether that changed it. It was just time for it to change. I don't know what's going to happen. It's not for us to decide. It's God's will.
What's the one thing in your lifetime that you've seen, the greatest change that you've seen
In the life.
in your lifetime?
In my lifetime, let me think. I'll have to think on that to see. Oh, when we could chop cotton. I wasn't old enough, but Mama'd get me a row and hit me on mine, and there would be three of us with $3 a day. And Mama would give me that, part of that dollar and let me spend it like I wanted. They would get $1 a day. And then it kept on and kept on and kept on until we would progress doing something. Go pick up potatoes. We never planted no mashed potatoes. They ply them mashed potatoes up. Now I can pick them up, put them in the basket. And every time I get a basket of potatoes, I get a dime or 15 cents. God opened up a way for us to, get a little something. Mama give me a nickel a dime. And that's where we get our money.
And how would you spend yours?
Anything that I can. I'd go to town on Saturday if it take me. You think I'm lying. I'd have about 15 cents. I'd get a nickel worth of crackers and a dime worth of bologna. And he'd put in there, boy, I ate good because I had meat that That's where we did.
Not candy.
No, we didn't want no candy. But we'd eat anything else. If we'd buy an apple, a man would come by sometime with a wagon and had those apples just getting specks on them. They're not good to sell. But we'd go out there and spend a quarter and get about 4 or 5 of them, Cut that black spot out there. Cut it, make us a apple pie or something like that. We'd always fix a way to get it. I'm telling you. And I hope it never comes to that for my kids, because they don't have sense enough to know. They think life is built on fed with a silver spoon, and they don't know what life is and how we had it. How we had it.
Go ahead.
Did you ever think you'd make it to 100?
No, Lord, no. I never did. I say, that old lady down there, so and so and so and so. And I look at people now, they say that to me. So far, my grandchildren is respectable for me, but sometimes, they used to didn't. A lady told me one day, she said, Mama, I tell you, you're going to be good. I'm going to get old, but don't whoop me. Some of them kids would whoop their parents. No. And any try to whoop me, I'm going to go in there with this fence that they're like that. I'd get them. They wouldn't. Oh, Lord. I hope it doesn't come to that. I really do. I don't think it will.
I don't think it will either.
I don't either. They might lie to you, but they ain't go, whip you. They ain't go whip you.
Did any of your other relatives live to be 100?
No.
You're the
Oh yeah, my daddy's brother. He got to be 110 or 11.
Well, there you go.
Uh-huh.
You got a few more to go.
Well, I don't know whether I don't know how. Sometime I wonder, will I halfway go his way after I pass that 100? Yeah, he did. And he sure was good looking. Honest. He went to service, my daddy's brother.
World War
The
One?
first
World War
One. And my son he went to service in the last war.
Okay.
That's all I'm so sure there's some more of my relatives, but I didn't know them, Can't get around much on a wagon.
What do you think your secret is to living that long?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. I don't drink, and I don't know what else. But I don't know. It's worth it. It's not because I'm so good, but it's just so I can't stand it. I really can't stand it. My daddy didn't drink. My mother didn't drink. But some members of my family do. And now my children thought it was most of them just fun to have a good fun and take a highball and like that. And I don't know whether that gives them short life or what.
Did you smoke?
No.
You ever smoke?
I tried, but I couldn't do it. I tried, and I ain't gonna lie and say I didn't. But I didn't let my parents see me do it. So I just couldn't do it. I tried to smoke when I got married. My husband said, I don't want nobody to smoke or blowing that. But he smoked. But he if I kept on trying to learn how, he wouldn't stay with me. I knew no other way to live. I got to stop or live. Oh, Lord. I said, that's funny. I just couldn't do it.
How long were you married?
25 years.
25.
Almost 25 years, about 2 or 3 months. When he passed away in 60. I've been a widow ever since 60.
Since 60. That's a long time.
It sure is.
50 or 50.
Well, and my mother-in-law passed after him on about 8 years. 8 months or so like that. But anyway, then we wouldn't have known I wouldn't have known what to do, because I wouldn't have had nobody to help me. So after I had opened my shop, and I did good in it, well, all right.
So you opened your shop after your husband passed away?
No. I did that before.
Before?
After my parents went.
Okay.
But my parents, I would sneak and do a little something for, how you can cheat sometime for hair. And then I didn't know I was working at the house. At the shop. I bet you couldn't guess how much I was making 15 cents a head to wash and press and curl the hair. $15. $15. That was a lots of money.
That was.
Uh-huh.
To press.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how would you press?
What?
How would you press?
We would have irons, heat them with iron, just like you iron clothes.
To make it smoother?
Uh-huh.
Stretch it out?
Yeah. That's how we were. And then they had a substance that you put on your hair, and it make it just as straight, you know. You had to know how to do it, because if you put too much on there, it would take it out. That's why you go to school, to learn these little techniques. And your hair would be just as straight as 1, 2, 3. Wash it, press it.
And how many years did you have the shop?
About 4 or more than that, because 7 or 8 years, no, because that's when I stopped working. I had the shop about 4 years to
But
do
at first
it
you had a
all.
shop in the house.
Huh?
You had a shop in the house at first, right?
Oh yeah. Well,
Then
see,
you
that
moved
was
down to 1010 North
sneaking
Greenwood.
in, so Daddy wouldn't know it. See, you're not honest all the time, because you know you got to eat, and you sneer. All right, come on, do that. And then too, we we play casino, and go to the casino and play that. Well, we had a game that we would play. Paula, we'd write number down. Australia, Miss Tanya, you want a book? Yes, ma'am. Give me a book. I get me a book. It's your time to shake those numbers out. Okay. My papa, my husband, he had to take, on Saturday night, he had to take these groceries, deliver them to the people's house. He trusted me. He didn't believe. He wouldn't, nobody told him. I was writing them numbers. He'd say, And they'd come to our house. Okay, we better hurry up and get through, because my husband be here and he ain't gonna be. All right, put it in. We take that can. And shake them numbers. What are those people? Write down. If they write it down, they win it. However much he win, that's what we want. And now they can go up to the casino, and all we got to put the money there and pull a leg. I said, times sure change. I guess these Indians got more nerve than we got. They tried it out and started. But I don't know whether, I can't remember whether they got caught when they first started or not. I know we did. If we'd write those numbers, I come to think of it, I don't know whether they got caught or not.
I don't know either.
But they got a good job. And I don't see no harm in it. Just a recreation and something to do.
At 100, well, what is a typical day like for you? What time do you get up, and what do you do?
Just about the same. Every morning about my last job for 15 years. I had to be on the floor dressed at 7 o'clock. Every morning I wake up at 5 so I can get my shower. And if I have to go to the cinema that day, well, I get dressed and go on to the cinema. But I'll wait unless I might have to lay there and not get up, but I won't sleep tonight after that. Good, because that's the time for 15 or so years that I got up and I wasn't late either.
You talk about, is that the senior center or community center?
No, that's St. Francis.
St. Francis.
And then now I wake up about that time of day. I don't go every day, but I'll lay awake. Look like the eyes is awake because I got to go chop cotton at 7. And I get off at 6. And when they make those 8 hours for us to live, to use through the day, I was so glad, because sometimes we'd have to do 12 hours and not get paid for them. if there wasn't nobody there to relieve you.
Well, what time do you usually go to bed?
Well, just whenever I get sleepy. I don't have no certain time. My daddy taught us at 9 o'clock was time he'd start winding that clock. We didn't stay up at our house after 9 o'clock. That was our time to go to bed. And I see now people do it. I wished I could do it. I can't go to bed that early. I guess I've had so many jobs with different hours, that's why. But I sure could get up and be on the job at before 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, because you had to be on the floor.
Do you have any hobbies today? Do you read? Do you?
Oh, I
sew?
used to read. That was my book, but I don't see real well.
What types of books did you enjoy reading?
Any kind you would show. I didn't pick them. I love to read. And then when we take these little short courses in I like anatomy, you know. Well, I just love to read.
Did you have a favorite book?
Well, I couldn't remember now. What was this? Yeah, I did have. What is this? It was I can't think of the name. Yeah, I tell you, sometime I can't remember. Gone. I know I didn't read Gone with the Wind. I saw it on movie. And what is this? I can't remember really if I was going to choke off which one it was. But I sure would. I like to read.
You saw Gone with the Wind at the movie theater
Oh yeah.
here in Tulsa?
I mostly forgotten, you know, but I saw it. I used to go to the movies whenever I had spare time. My jobs, I couldn't go that long, but when it came on the movies, oh, that was a break because I'd be at home. I'd watch it.
Go ahead.
Well, I want to know if you have a philosophy of life or a motto you live by.
Somebody that I like, that to do something I like, something to do. I don't quite get you. What does it mean?
Well, do you have a motto in life that you live by, or a philosophy?
A model that I live by, I don't know nobody. Really, I don't. I don't do it because I want to do that. I do something because I want to try that. That's the way I live. I think I'll do so and so and so and so. I think I'll do so and so. Now, I don't want to go. I can beat her doing it because my daddy wouldn't let me dance, and I just love to dance. My husband, when I married him, he wouldn't let me go to dances. I'd wait till he'd go to sleep at his time and slip out there. Me and my sister had the best time. We had to get us a quarter though. Had to pay a quarter.
Where would you go dancing?
Oh, they'd have these little dances, you know. He wouldn't think his daughter would go. No, that's when you don't just trust kids. Because you don't know, you ain't gonna stand over them all the time unless they get caught. Then you'll know. Seeing is believing. Yes, if right now that I could go and I have all of my children a beautiful beautician, I would open one. I could sit there and take in the money, and then they could do the work. Now I would do that. That would be, but I don't know whether they would like that or not. You know, when No, they probably wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
But they stood over me and watched me do it.
Now, is that on your bucket list?
Yeah, I guess so.
Popular place today.
Election time.
Well, you were living in Tulsa during the Civil Rights movement and all of that. Do you have anything to say about that during the Civil Rights period in the 60s?
Oh, you know one thing. I'm a funny person. My mind is my own. I use the way I feel. I'm not
Oh, are you going?
out
Oh,
with
yeah.
that because it's not right. The best man win. That's what I say. And I pray to God that when it comes, it'll be for the right things. It doesn't have to be my thing. My thing might not be right. But my little 11-year-old grandson, he say, "Do you read the Bible?" "Yes, I read the Bible." He said, "I've read the Bible over through 2 or 3 times. I don't believe a thing the Bible say. I believe some of the things in there, but if all the things in there was like that, it wouldn't be no world. It would be a jam session." So I think the best man win. That's what I believe. And if you're right, sometime God go fix it for you. And sometime if you're wrong, He won't do nothing for you. So I don't know. I work hard for myself. That's all I try. I just do it for myself. I try to work out, and I try to be good to everybody. So if I need them again, I'll knock on the door, they'll open it and let me in. Is that fair enough?
Yes, that's fair enough.
My kids wouldn't get married now. My daddy could hire anybody he wanted to come there and be his Australia. But boy, she just so happy, she just started crying and happy and hugging and kissing me. "Mama, Australia's here." You know, that made me feel good. Then everybody loved her, and they loved her because Australia was good to her. So that was it.
When history is written, what do you want it to say about you?
When what?
When history is written, what would you like it to say about you?
Like what?
How do you want to be remembered? How do you want others to remember you?
Oh, I wonder what she did. I don't know myself. I leaned on the Lord. I don't know. He guided me. I go to bed at night asking Him to guide me. Help me over the past. Don't do my feet. Lead me around the bad places so I won't touch them and hurt myself. Help me build myself. Because God, I know you're going to make me pay for what the bad things that I've done, but just open my heart and let me in where I can be. Recognize that somebody tried to live part of the right life, if not all of it. That's all I can say. I can't make him, but I sure wish he would. And then I'd say, let me see if it's something that I've overlooked. I'm trying to search me, Lord, I say. But I've looked so many places. I haven't got the answer yet. I don't know what I'm going to happen. But I got a long time to think. I don't know what's going to happen. I sure do. I just don't know.
I don't think any of us do, so.
And some when good things happen to her, and I said, do they mean me? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, is there anything else you want to add before we shut the off?
Well, I appreciate y'all coming today. And I hope this will open my eyes. If I'm not doing the right thing, let me try to do the right thing and just put a little thing down there in front of me and open up a little pathway so I can cross over. You know, sometimes we got to cross. They say Jordan City, and I hope so, because I have accomplished quite a bit to be an old lady. I don't want riches and all, because I wouldn't know what to do with it. I want just enough to fix me so I can be able to hold out to the end. My grandmother was 88 years of age when she passed away. And I've outlived her, 8 years? 88, because I was 88. Oh, I'm about 20-some years. And she had a good time with that 88. And my auntie didn't take her away from her.
That auntie.
So that's it.
Well, thank you for sharing your stories with us today. It's
Yeah,
great.
it's a lot that's happened that I can't remember. As it come to me, I try to give them true facts, you know. But if my daddy had let me go head on and sign my right way through, well, I probably wouldn't know some of the things that I could do, and then maybe I didn't need to do them. So I'm satisfied. That's all I can do. I'm satisfied.
You're satisfied.
Yeah.
Well, I'm satisfied too. Thank you.